Hello and one and all, and welcome back to a ranking video. Yes, I've not done a ranking video in a while, so I'm deciding to do a James Bond ranking now. This isn't a ranking of all the Bond films, since that No Time to Die has been delayed once again to April, and since Sean Connery passed away, I thought why not rank the Sean Connery Bond films from worst to best. I am including Never Say Never Again as well, the unofficial Bond film. All 7 Bond films that Sean Connery starred in. And no, I'm not going to include On Her Majesty's Secret Service because Sean Connery did not star in that film. George Lazenby did. But before we get started, as ever guys, this is my ranking, this is my opinion. This is a subjective list, so let's have some respect and have fun. And give our reasons why you agree with me and why you disagree with me. So without further ado, let's get on to the ranking on Sean Connery's Bond films from worst to best, in my opinion. Alright, coming at number 7, might be kind of obvious, but if you see my review of it combined with that and Octopussy, I couldn't do a separate review of it because I didn't really have much to say with this film, nor Octopussy. But my number 7 is Never Say Never Again, the unofficial Bond film not produced by Eon Productions, released in 1983, the same year that Octopussy was released in. Yes, guys, now, this movie I don't think is a complete, disaster or anything. I do think it's pretty bad for the most part, but I don't think this is, horrible or anything. I mean, some action is cool, and I think some of the characters are okay. I mean, Ken Basher was actually pretty good in the movie. I mean, while Sean Connery looks pretty decent in the action scenes, but he looks really old to play as Bond, compared with Roger Moore as Bond in A View to a Kill. I just think some of the characters are just pretty lame, and I really did not think we need a remake of Thunderball, if I'm being honest with you. But if you guys want to hear more thoughts on my review on Never Say Never Again, I never really had much to say, so check out my review of Octopussy and Never Say Never Again all in one video, because I thought why not do a review on the 1983 Bond films in one video, because why not. But number 7 is Never Say Never Again. I really don't like this film that much. I don't think it's a disaster. I don't think it's a disgrace. It's just a movie I don't really like all that much. I mean, I don't think any of the Bond films are bad. I mean, some bad Bond films have their good moments, and some good Bond films have some bad moments. But hey, Never Say Never Again is my number 7 on my list. I know there's people that actually do enjoy this, good for you, but me personally, not so much. Alright, coming at number 6 is the one where we thought was going to be one of the films that we thought Sean Connery was going to finish as Bond, but then Never Say Never Again he did in 12 years' time. Number 6 is Diamonds Are Forever. Now, I don't think this is a bad film at all. I think this movie is pretty okay for the most part. I think it's like a C+ movie. But the point is, this, if you thought Thunderball was the one where Bond started to become really campy, or Roger Moore started to become campy with Bond, no, this film pretty much is the start of campiness, and it was the first Bond film released in the 70s. But I mean, Sean Connery seems to be getting on a lot better than he did in You Only Live Twice, which we'll get into soon. But I mean, he seems to be having more fun here. I mean, some characters are okay. I mean, Charles Gray I don't think is a bad Blofeld at all. But compared to Donald Pleasence and Telly Savalas, he's really not that. He's just pretty bland. I think Blofeld was such an iconic character with no hair and just a completely bald character. But yeah, and again, I mean, Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd, they're actually pretty funny for the most part. I mean, they weren't annoying in my opinion, but yeah, this was the second Bond film that Guy Hamilton directed. But again, if you want to hear more thoughts on my review on Diamonds Are Forever, go check it out. It's on my channel. I reviewed it back in 2019, so yeah. That's my number 6. Alright, coming at number 5. Coming at number 5 is the first film where we thought Sean Connery was going to leave as Bond, but then after On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which he didn't appear in, to do Diamonds Are Forever, we get You Only Live Twice. Now, this film I do enjoy a lot more than Diamonds Are Forever, because this film isn't campy for the most part. It has classic moments for the most part. I mean, it has the sort of the mini yellow helicopter, whatever you call it. Someone let me know below in the comments what it's called. But where Bond is flying in the mini yellow helicopter is a really cool scene in You Only Live Twice, and the volcano scene at the end. While Donald Pleasence is a creepy looking Blofeld for the most part, I think he's probably the most creepy looking, especially with the scar, if you know what I mean. And I think that works so well for Donald Pleasence as Blofeld. You only live twice, Mr. Bond. But then again, he just didn't really see him much. Unlike Telly Savalas as Blofeld, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, you got to see more of his more Blofeld in there. But I still really enjoyed Donald Pleasence for the most part. He's a pretty iconic actor. He's in other great movies like Halloween, John Carpenter's, and The Great Escape. When I look back at some iconic actors, Sean Connery being one, Donald Pleasence being another. I mean, there are some pretty dull moments in You Only Live Twice, though, whenever Bond is trying to pretending to be Chinese. I mean, that's pretty stupid. I mean, if you thought that was kind of the start to campiness, but really Diamonds Are Forever was the film, in my opinion, that started the campiness for Bond. But if you want to hear more thoughts on You Only Live Twice, check my review. It's on my channel. I think it's a solid Bond film. Alright, coming at number 4, we have probably the one where people thought Connery started to get tired of the role. He sort of did in this film, but really it was You Only Live Twice. He seemed to have got fed up with the role. But at number 4 we have Thunderball. Now this is a pretty divisive Bond film. Some Bond fans like it, some Bond fans don't, because they think some elements of the film slow down a bit. Honestly, I really like Thunderball. I think it's got a great Bond theme song sung by Tom Jones. And I think the opening with the jetpack is actually really cool. And I think it has some very good looking Bond girls in the film. Largo the villain isn't that great of a villain. I mean, but he's not the worst either. I mean, it was a pretty lame death, but hey, that doesn't stop me from liking Thunderball, because I think this is a very good Bond film. I mean, it's like a B+ sort of movie in my opinion, and I think they showing the Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger, bringing it back, was actually a nice touch. But again, if you want to hear more thoughts, check out my review of Thunderball. It's on my channel. Alright, we're into the top 3 now. Okay. So coming at number 3, some Bond fans might hate me for this, for putting this at number 3, because some Bond fans consider this to be their favourite and think, oh, this is a Bond film I look up to, along with another film which we'll get into soon. But in my opinion, this only ranks at number 3, in my opinion, is because this film sort of kind of copied North by Northwest in places, and that's From Russia with Love. I still love From Russia with Love. I think this is a great Bond film. I think it's the one where it started a great fight scene, and that being James Bond versus Red Grant, played by Robert Shaw, who was Cap Quint in Jaws. That was like our first real fight scene in Bond, and I loved it. It's one of my favourite fight scenes in Bond. It's on a train, you know, and then later on Spectre took an inspiration from this, but only it was a tough guy. But anyway, you know, and I love how it's the first Bond film that will open up before a title sequence. I like how it opens on a pre-title sequence, you know, and I think it's a great Bond film, certainly for Bond fans out there. And this is kind of like a Hitchcock film in some ways. That's why I only rank it at number 3. Not saying I don't like From Russia with Love. I really like From Russia with Love. I think it's a great Bond film. As far as grade, I would give it an A or an A-, but this film I still enjoy watching from time to time, and I have played the video game of it. Really good. Alright, coming at number 2. Some people think From Russia with Love is better than this, and I can totally see why. But to me, this film didn't rip off anything. Now, While You Only Live Twice didn't do it in a bad way. I just felt like it was doing it a little at times where I thought, okay, don't need to do that. But with this film, it didn't do that. It was the first Bond film in this series, and you can guess it already. Number 2 is Dr. No. Now, I know what you're thinking. Really? Better than From Russia with Love? To me, I think there's more iconic scenes going on. I think this and Goldfinger have the most iconic scenes in Bond films, especially when the introduction to Bond, James Bond. It's just an iconic moment. And of course, when Bond sees Honey Rider at the beach, it's just a classic Bond scene as well. And there's a scene in this film that doesn't get talked about, and that kind of annoys me, and it's kind of a dark moment, actually. To me, this is kind of like the first dark scene in Bond, and that is when Bond is killing the spider. I mean, it may seem ridiculous to some people, but to me, that was the first dark scene for Bond, if I'm being honest. Not enough people talk about it, and I think people should. But again, guys, if you want to hear more thoughts on my review of Dr. No, it's on my YouTube channel. Go and check it out right now. I am happy to say I love Goldfinger. No, excuse me. Dr. No. I would rate this an A, so check out my review if you want to hear more thoughts. And coming at number 1, you guys can probably guess it already. I know it's predictable, but my number 1 is Goldfinger. Yes, Goldfinger. Yes, we unfortunately had another death, unfortunately, which was just a month after the pandemic started, and that was Honor Blackman, who plays Pussy Galore, one of the best Bond girls in the series. My name is Pussy Galore. Yes, to me, this Bond film has the most iconic scenes in Bond history. Just the opening sequence, one of the Bond girls getting painted in gold. Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. Yes, this film just has classic moments, and I love the villains, Eric Goldfinger and Oddjob. They are some of the best villains in the whole series, in my opinion. And this is easily an A+ film, in my opinion. And I think this is easily one of the best Bond films, easily in the top 5 for me. And Dr. No is my #1 favourite Sean Connery Bond film. And there you go, guys. That was my ranking on the Sean Connery Bond films. Yes, comment down below. Let me know below, how would you rank the Sean Connery Bond films in your opinion? Are you going to count Never Say Never Again? Are you not going to count it? Rank all the Sean Connery Bond films. Let me know what you think of them, and let's have a great discussion in the comments below. And stay tuned next time whenever I do another Bond ranking. I am going to rank the Roger Moore James Bond films. So stay tuned for that, guys. That'll be my next ranking video. And yes, guys, if you're probably wondering, am I going to rank I'm not going to rank Timothy Dalton's Bond films because he's only done 2. But am I going to rank Pierce Brosnan's Bond films, or am I going to rank Daniel Craig's Bond films after when No Time to Die comes out? No. Now, while I do love Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig as Bond, they're amazing Bonds, but I just think Sean Connery and Roger Moore are the more iconic Bonds. Plus, they've been the longest running James Bonds. So I think doing a ranking for just Sean Connery and Roger Moore is just pretty fair, in my opinion. So yes. But I would give you my overall ranking in a review of No Time to Die, hopefully at some point in 2021, to tell you what I think of it compared to the other Craig Bond films whenever I review No Time to Die in 2021, depending on the pandemic, how it turns out, but I will see. But stay tuned, I'm definitely going to do a ranking of Roger Moore's Bond films. Look forward to that. And as always, guys, comment, like, subscribe, share this video, notify the bell before you leave. If you're new to my channel, I'm a UK movie reviewer. I like to do movie reviews. I like to do classic reviews, especially when a new movie comes out. And I also sometimes like to do ranking videos. All of my social media links will be in the description below. And as always, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace. Rest in peace, Sean Connery.